I had it, so I went up and bought it, and I'm pretty happy with it so far, but I haven't even used it yet. I immediately ordered the Byrd Shelix, which I ordered a Saturday night. It arrived Saturday. I ordered it Saturday night, and it arrived Monday morning, along with the feed tables. So I'm going to go ahead and put those together. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to do a before and after pass. Okay. Before we begin, just the magic of video editing. I'm actually already done. But now that I know what tools I need, I'm going to say before we begin, I'm going to show you what tools we need. So this is the standard Allen wrench that comes with it. It rests in the lid. It's got the magnets for changing your cutters out. Whatever size this is, 4mm. Okay, you're going to be able to do almost everything with this 4mm. I went ahead and used my 3/8 drive, 4mm on the ratchet and on my impact driver, just to speed things along. Obviously, if you're going to use the impact driver, be careful because you could easily strip these out. As you saw in the video, or you will see in the video, one of these guys did, nope, not that one. One of these guys did get stripped out before it came out. I had to drill it out and use a extractor to get it out. All right, so enough of that. So this guy's going to get almost everything. There are going to be 3 Allen wrenches that are 5mm. You're going to have to use a 5mm for that. So if you don't have a 5mm to start with, make sure you have one, because it is a requirement. So there is a 6mm, I don't even want to call it a nut. It's kind of like the drive gear for the cutter head that you're going to have to remove from the old one. Goes on the end there. You're going to have to remove it and install it on the new one. So you're going to need a 6mm socket. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to need both internal and external snap ring pliers. Internal, external. Roll of masking tape. I went ahead and used the plastic that came in the packaging, wrapped around the spiral cutter head, as you'll see. Secured it with masking tape. If you don't have the plastic, or you already threw it away, a thorough coating of masking tape will protect your cutters as you're installing them. Really glad I did that. It would have caused probably some damage if I had not. And then I ended up using a 15/16 socket to get the main nut off of the drive pulley on the cutter head. So I've got a 22, which was too small, and I've got a 24, which was too big. And I don't have a 23, which is what I think it needed. The 24 is way too much slack. The 15/16 was a little bit too big, but it didn't cause any damage. At the end of the day, it came right off with this with no visible damage. So that's what you're going to need. But wait, there's more. You're going to need a hammer and a piece of wood. So I used a regular hammer and this piece of wood to drive the old cutter head out. And I went ahead and just used this rubber, vinyl, nylon, whatever it is, to drive the new one in, or a dead blow. So you're going to need one or the other, or a combination of both, to get the old cutter head out and the new cutter head in. I forgot to mention that. This piece is like a little gripper to hold this up, so that's gonna come off. Is remove these 2 screws here, and as you can imagine, there's a screw underneath, or a spring. So we need to make sure that we don't lose the spring. It looks like, while I was reviewing the steps, looks like this is the only internal portion of the process. and the rest is all on the outer paneling. Next step is to remove this outer paneling. Start with the wheel. It's quick. We'll set that aside. Next is, and we're stripped. Outstanding. Don't do what I just did. Let's see if this makes a difference. This is what the tool came with it. And I feel like I'm slipping already. And we have struck out already. Well, that was a pain in the ass, but I finally got it out. Thank God I had extractors on hand. So I got that final one out. Obviously go on parts, some Parts Direct website and order a replacement for that screw. So I took this off the back to get better access to getting the extractor in there, because I was trying to use vice grips first. So I got the side panel off finally with that bad screw taken out. And that looks like it's damaged in there. So it's possible that... Did I drill through? No, I didn't drill... Oh yeah, I did drill through. Yeah, oops. So I did drill through there. I'll fix those later. So now that we're on the inside, hopefully you can see this. Let's go ahead and disconnect the tension spring. We'll come back to that. And we're going to have to remove these. You'll notice that as I'm going, all of these Allen wrenches, Allen sockets are the same size. So the original tool is going to remove all of these. Get that off. Set that aside. We're going to have to do the same thing on the other side with it. And we'll need to take that off as well. I do not have a 23 millimeter, so it's going to hurt. But I'm gonna take this off with the 15/16. And I'm gonna put a piece of wood in here to keep this from spinning backwards, because I don't want to use my fingers. Fortunately, that did not take a lot, so I didn't round over anything. Okay, so let's get this V-belt off first. Okay, so that's out of the way. Tensioner's out of the way. Let's get this guy off. Does not want to come off. I might have to use a gear puller. Feel like it. There we go. Take that off first. Okay. Here we are with more reasons to vacuum. Let's take a time out. At this point, we're done with this side for now. Let's take the woodruff key out of there, because apparently that's we're gonna need to hold on to that. So we're gonna turn it around now and work on the other side. Ooh, nice on the ears. All right, so let's go ahead and get this side done. I'm going to go ahead and crack it loose with this, and I'll use the impact driver to get out the rest. Set those in there. And we have, look at that. We're disconnected already. So this is productive. We're learning all about this saw. That should have been something like that. That's still not even that tight. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so, well, we need to disconnect this anyway. So we'll disconnect that. The spring looks like it's just worn out. And let's get the snap ring pliers. Okay, so set those there so we don't lose them. Let's take this guy off. Set that over there. There's a washer behind it. I don't want to lose that. And so I should have removed the snap ring before I turn this one around, but we're going to go ahead and, oh, nope, now we switch to a different size. So we got to move 1, 2, 3 Allens on this side. Let me ratchet. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the trick here is we got to remove this gearbox, but not remove this gearbox. We just want to loosen it up. So let's slowly work it away without... Oh, that's easy. Okay, so there's this giant metal rod that we saw on the inside. Cue photo. That's what this is. And we're going to have to tap that out. But first, let's remove the snap ring. We're going to pull these out because this is the direction of travel for the cutter head. Okay, we're going to bang that thing out this way. So let's back up. I got that. I got the cutters taken off. Let's try and get this out again. There we go. It is loose. And it is out. Okay. Nice. Well, notice that the bearing, so that was the bearing on this end, is considerably smaller than the bearing on this end, which allows this one to pass through the race for this bearing without snagging on anything. So that's what it looks like. We have to get this piece here unscrewed. So let's get that done. So they say that 6mm is the size of that nut right there. Yep, it appears so. And let's just unscrew that. That was easy. Let me just set that right there. Leave me alone. Seems like the grease is coming out. It's good to have. Nice and solid. I'm not sure what I should do with this now. Now it is time to install this guy. What do we have here? Maybe this was important. Oh. Bonus feature. We've got our decal. We've got instructions that I've completely ignored. Nope. Ah. Here we got our instructions on the carbide. And we've got what appears to be ooh, I want to drop those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra carbide cutters. Yep, 5. Interesting. I don't remember reading that in the product description when I bought this. I'll go back and look at that. I ordered for my Grizzly 1018. I didn't order any spare carbide cutters. I know I probably should have, but I did not. The funds were not in the bank at the time, so I was surprised to see the extra 5 with this one. So I was going to wrap this in masking tape, as you may have seen other people do, but with this piece of plastic, I'm going to go ahead and trim it to length, and I'm going to wrap the plastic around the head and then finish that with masking tape. So let's hold on for a second. Hopefully that stays out of the way. Okay, I think that's going to be enough for now. Let's go ahead and figure out how I'm getting this out of the box. Oh, like that. It lifts out. Okay. So this is our drive end over here. So this is where I got to put that 6mm shaft that we took out. This piece. Why is it sticking? I feel like I want to put some thread locker on this, but I don't know if I need to or not. Okay, that is tight. A lot tighter than it came out. It's not seated all the way, so let's get that seated as much as we can. Okay, almost there. Okay, that's seated all the way. All right, so from here on out, let's get this out of the way. We're going to insert this, and everything's going to basically go in reverse operation from the way it came apart from assembling this. The trickiest part is going to be getting these lined up before we start banging it back in, and then everything will be, like I said, a reverse process. So let's see what happens. Before we begin reassemble, I want to point out, so here, I'm going to vacuum that out. That is where the snap ring went in that groove there. See a little bit of sawdust. So that's our large side, and because I'm an ass, you can kind of see where I damaged it, pushing it out with the cutter still in place. So that's going to be an issue. And then on this side, you see how that snap ring's still in place? That's going to be our stop. That's how we know it's in all the way, is when it's up against that. So let's see what I can do without causing more damage. A little bit of a snug fit because of the plastic I've got over the cutters. I don't want to rub them. Be very, very careful. Looks like I'm scraping them anyway. Okay, it's just where the tape is. Work this through gently. You definitely want to have this wrapped because it's not going to go through without bumping into it at least once. Oh boy, this is stress. Okay, literally just got done saying I was going to vacuum out the snap ring grooves, and I did not. Okay, so that is as far as it will go without applying force. So I'm going to use, instead of putting the piece of wood on here and trying to bang it because I'm by myself and I can't hold up this end of it alone, I'm going to use I'm going to get out 2 hammers. I'm going to go with the rubber, vinyl, whatever that is. I don't know where that came from. And now the Air Force is flying. Outstanding. Or my dead blow. So let's see what happens here. This bearing on this side is now along its race. These cutters are still exposed, or not exposed, but they're still in the race. And if I rotate them, they do bang, they do touch that mar that I caused in the race. Okay, the snap ring groove is visible. Let me check the other side here, see if I'm flush, and it appears I am flush with the snap ring stop on the other side. These cutters have cleared the race. So let's go ahead and install the snap ring back on this side. Let me vacuum. All right, snap ring. Let's put that guy back. Is that in all the way? I don't think so. Yep, now it is. Okay, so this side is set in, and we can unwrap everything on the inside. Get this masking tape out of the way. Okay, so this did cut through the plastic in a couple places. Doesn't look like it did where there was masking tape covering it. So hopefully it didn't damage any of the cutter heads in the process. Doesn't look like I did. So that's a plus. Like I said, from here on out is a reverse order, so let's slide this guy back up all the way in. Is that all the way in? Yes. Tighten these guys down. It's our snap rings. That's not good. So I'm going to be ordering a replacement for that probably. Alright, that side is done. Back over to this side. So we have a couple of different things we've obviously got to get reinstalled here. First one's the drive sprocket, and the woodruff key. So let's put that in there. Slide that on there. Where's my hammer? That's not good. Why does that not want to sit in there? Square side, flat side. Yeah, no, that's the way I had it. Tapered edge first. Alright, let's get that on there. Tighten down this drive nut. Okay, we're back. I got it installed correctly. I make mistakes, so you don't have to. Let's get this guy back installed. Okay, got that. Let's put the tensioner on there. All right, side cover. Minus the one that doesn't fit. All right. I'm gonna switch apps. I'm gonna switch back to the noise app. I think we've verified that this really doesn't work at this point, but we're going to see what happens. So we're back to a quiet library. Let's get this down to 1/16 of an inch where we had it before. And also, obviously those older cutters were horribly dull. So we'll see if this makes a difference. If anything, hopefully the volume of it just over your speakers will be proof enough, I guess. I don't know. Dust collector, machine. Right, that's already a little less. Oh my God. It doesn't even compare the finish on that. Unreal. Unreal. Unbelievable. It's night and day. Night and day. There is little. Now, part of this is a comparison to my Porter cable that I used to have that I sold last year. There is almost no snipe on this. This is unbelievable. There's a little bit here, but I think part of it was just not. But this is a glass. This is a glass-like finish. I don't know if it showed up on the microphone how much quieter this thing is with those cutters versus what was on there. And I remember talking about on Facebook how loud this, just roaring loud. When I got it from the guy, his grandson was asleep and his wife was like, no, please don't test it. We took it out to the street. I did like a 4-inch cut on a 2x4, and you know, she came out the door. It was just loud. I couldn't get the thing to stop cutting quick enough. It was unbelievable. This is nothing. This is not even the same. I can't even tell it's the same one. Dust collection, yeah, there's chips all over the place. Not really too concerned about that, but I wish you could feel how smooth this is. This is unbelievable. But I think that answers that. So, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please post them. Like and subscribe. This, can't explain how happy I am with this right now. Thanks for watching.